In today's ever-changing medical landscape, there are three major risks to healthcare providers and their patients which go largely uninvestigated. Today, we're going to take a deeper look at each of those risks from a historical and risk-reward viewpoint to assess appropriate tolerance for excellent patient care. This presentation is brought to you by RI Transcription Solutions, partnering with you for over 2 decades for excellent patient care. The first major risk is the tendency to engage foreign firms to complete transcription and EMR integration work, many times without the knowledge or consent of medical facilities. It is a tempting pursuit, to be sure. However, sensitive personal information that leaves this country presents a grave risk for American patients and medical facilities. These risks are increased for Americans because U.S. federal laws do not apply to foreign companies operating overseas. There is no guarantee that data privacy regulation, even if stipulated contractually, can be enforced in foreign courts. In the past 8 years, we have seen American medical records being auctioned off to the highest bidder in India, disgruntled Pakistani transcriptionists holding records hostage for higher pay, as well as disturbing decisions in courts refusing to hold foreign corporations liable for information breaches that happened without the knowledge or consent of their partnering medical facilities. But the cost savings. This is what you might hear when you compare the rates of domestic firms versus offshore companies. As with many things in life, perception is not always reality. Such is the case with offshore outsourcing of medical transcription. As of 2015, medical records managers were still reporting dramatically higher error rates from foreign sources, leading to an increase in man-hours correcting errors, auditing invoices, and handling physician frustration. Most importantly, when patient care is involved, the potential for lower cost or shorter turnaround times is simply too great in light of unenforceable contracts, subpar quality, and unreachable customer service teams halfway around the world, not to mention the high priority of physician satisfaction, patient care, and streamlined workflows for medical records departments. One caution: there are many medical transcription companies that will claim to be 100% US-based and point to a United States office address. In many cases, these were simply that, addresses, when all work is being funneled to overseas workforces. As you assess this formidable risk, please ensure your security and recourse by insisting that all work be kept in the United States in your transcription contract. For truly domestic firms, this will present no issue at all. In the words of Darlene Rush at Providence Hospital, private health information should not be simply handled by the lowest bidder. We have a responsibility to choose the safest, most secure option. Our second risk, the electronic medical record. Once touted as the end of medical transcription companies, the reality again has been much different. Deployment of electronic medical records has seen a massive increase, but user satisfaction and streamlined use has lagged even more dramatically behind. When these systems were implemented, vendors projected traditional transcription as an outdated and costly method of transcription. They tried to convince physicians to use the new innovative system to generate error-free medical records. But now, with electronic medical record systems in place, physicians are spending more hours on their computers to document patient records themselves and spending less time with their patients, up to 3 hours a day according to some studies. Many doctors are frustrated with spending their valuable time entering data into a computer. The excess administrative burden imposed on doctors has also affected the quality of patient care, reducing the time for face-to-face consultation and leading to poor performance. Some doctors have employed medical scribes to help them with documentation, while others have reverted to a medical transcriptionist to either transcribe their dictated notes and attaching them to the electronic record, or to enter the data directly into the EHR subject to a physician review. According to one study, 44% of healthcare facilities experienced increased dictation volume in 2015, while only 16% of healthcare facilities saw that same dictation volume decrease. Electronic clinical documentation mainly serves the purpose of capturing the necessary clinical terms needed to perform accurate coding and billing. Patient details are often lacking, leading to diminished quality of care. Studies show that EMRs persuade physicians to make defensive documentation. There's an excess use of the copy and paste function that's risky and also does not add any significant value to the medical document. The final, major, mostly unseen risk facing today's medical records departments is an ever-increasing use of voice recognition software, leading to increased patient risk. In one case related to voice recognition technology, a medical malpractice claim yielded the seventh largest jury verdict for 2012, when a jury awarded $140 million in punitive damages to a patient's family. The patient, a lifelong diabetic, was admitted to a hospital when she developed a blood clot in her dialysis port. Upon discharge, she went to a rehabilitation facility. A nurse at the hospital transferred the patient's information to the rehabilitation hospital. Instead of obtaining the medication reconciliation document and the patient transfer order, the nurse obtained the information she needed from a copy of the doctor's dictated discharge summary, which had been sent out of the United States for transcription. The transcription contained errors, including a notation that the patient was given 80 units of insulin instead of 8. At the rehabilitation hospital, the patient received an incorrect dosage, which caused brain damage, cardiopulmonary arrest, and death. Voice recognition vulnerabilities can lead to tragic outcomes, as the above case illustrates. Some of the concerns about current documentation practices include improper use and expectations of speech recognition technology capabilities, mismanagement of speech recognition with degradation of translation accuracy over time. Surveys show that critical error rates for speech recognition proofreading and editing are as high as 22%. It has been found that voice recognition takes 50% longer to dictate, and there are 5.1 errors per record. Additionally, 90% of all voice recognition dictations contained errors prior to physician sign-off. After sign-off, 35% of voice recognition still had errors. It has been found that human factors contribute to the inaccuracy of speech recognition documentation errors, including voice accent and tone, which may affect the translation of the speech recognition into a medical record. In light of this information, what is your risk tolerance? Who is editing your voice recognition medical records? Who is ensuring the records are accurate? In conclusion, we're all tempted by the golden promises of lower costs, faster turn times, higher quality, and especially advanced technology. However, at this stage, there is a dramatic risk to healthcare facilities, physicians, and patients stemming from over-reliance on technology to document and approximate a very personal process of healing and healthcare. In order to attain error-free medical records and efficient medical documentation, a blended approach combining medical transcription and electronic medical record systems would be ideal. Physicians continue to dictate their notes while domestic medical transcription service companies access the physician hospital electronic medical record system, transcribe the notes, and enter the details into the electronic health record. This process leads to invaluable efficiency in patient care, satisfied physicians, and a higher level of American healthcare overall, which is our goal. Thank you for joining me today as we investigate the risks that are sabotaging so many healthcare facilities today. This presentation was brought to you by RI Transcription Solutions, a family-owned, 100% American company based in Austin, Texas. We have been partnering with doctors since 1995 to provide the highest possible care to patients and excellent service to our client facilities. If you would like more information on the statistics presented here or a personalized facility risk assessment, please contact our team or continue the conversation with us on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn.